So is this just the calm before the real spending storm? To Republican Congressman Tom Price of Georgia, who voted against the House stimulus package. Congressman, what do you think of what's going on across the way?
Hey, Neil, good to be with you. Well, I hope we don't wait many more days. Otherwise, it'll be over $200 billion. On the House side, I believe this was wrong on both process and policy. From a process standpoint, it was an up or down vote. No opportunity to put in place real economic stimulus. And from a policy standpoint, if history's any guide at all, the kinds of things in this bill won't result in any significant increase in economic productivity. So I believe that the best antidote to an economic downturn is a good job. And so we ought to concentrate on helping businesses, large and small, all across this nation be able to create more jobs. That'd be an economic stimulus package.
You're either one of the gutsiest lawmakers in America or the craziest, because now you have to sort of buck the wave, even in your own party, to look like you're doing something or the government's doing something to address what they say is a severe slowdown or worse. Are you okay with that? Are your constituents okay with that?
Well, I think what constituents want is for all of Washington to lead. And so what I'm trying to do is to respond to what my constituents tell me, which is if government's going to act, make sure that what you do is responsible and make sure that what you do is going to have the intended result, which is why I felt that the no was the appropriate vote on this, because I don't believe that this will result in an economic stimulus.
What did you not like, Congressman, in it?
Well, if we're going to give back money to people, which is what is enticing to some, then it ought to be in a way that is permanent. We ought to decrease tax rates for all individuals. We ought to do things that result in true economic stimulus, again, new jobs, which is decreasing tax rates for businesses large and small so that businesses can flourish, people can improve their situation and their lot in life and realize their dreams. What we've done, I don't believe, will result in any significant increase in economic development or economic stimulus in the long term, and certainly in the short term there are real questions economically as whether or not it's going to help.
You know, Congressman, I spoke to a pretty big Republican lawmaker the other day who was saying, Neil, look, truth be told, we didn't really want to go for this, but we didn't want to be Hooverized, talking about Herbert Hoover and looking like the Republican Party was shirking its duty to do something, so don't get the government involved, and we'd pay for it at the polls. So this, in other words, if I read him correctly, it was sort of like a deal to protect you guys in November. What do you make of that?
Well, I think a lot of it was political, and the reason that I say that is the process. If we had had an opportunity to truly put a stimulus package, which we have introduced on the floor, and have a vote on that up or down, then people would have felt that they had an opportunity to have their say on something that really stimulates the economy. Instead, what we had was this one package, take it or leave it, no amendments, no substitute, and consequently many people felt that politically the best vote for them was a yes.
Do you think your party, Congressman, has kind of lost its soul, to say nothing of its way?
Well, I think Washington has been moving in the wrong direction for a significant period of time, and both parties. And so what I've tried to do, and what many of my colleagues have tried to do on our side of the aisle, is to bring us back to those economic security roots, those financial responsibility, fiscal responsibility roots, and make certain that we don't just sit there and grow government. Every time we grow government, we decrease the private sector, and every time we decrease the private sector, we decrease the opportunity for Americans to realize their dreams.
Wow, Congressman with principle. Congressman, very good seeing you. I wish you well.
Thank you, Neil.
Congressman Tom Price.